fellas to come on. I think I sent the link to him. Sent the link to him a little late. What's going on, Adrian? How you feeling this morning? Kieran, Alex, Omega Red. Let me know if you can hear me, man. I believe that I'm live and going. Let me know if you can hear me for sure. Salute fans of it. Salute to fans of a certain age. Yes, sir, man. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. It's beautiful to have listening for a bit. Drew Titan, that's what's up, man. Hey, let me know if you can. Let me know if you guys can hear me. What's going on, Mark Blake, Trig Nolte, Marlon Swicey says, man, when you fight again, Marlon? Man, I got to figure out an angle on this. This shit don't pivot this way. Where's the link to the Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal? Let me see, man. It should be in the Go to my channel here. That way I can hear for sure if y'all can hear me. This shit don't pivot this way. All right, yeah, y'all can hear me. Okay. Link to the Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. All right, I'm looking now. Where the fuck is my? It should be in this. Oh man, you got to be kidding me. What's good? Let me see if anybody show back up. Man, I'm still waiting on these cats to show up. Mike sounds great. Thanks, man. I'm right here. Wait on these cats to come on. Let me go back into this email, man, and make sure I sent this mug. Yeah, man. No, hold on, man. Oops, maybe I didn't send the link to him. Man, I'm being real unprofessional today. It's all right, because somebody had been on already. And my man, Curtis. Oh, no, I sent it before. I sent it at 8:02. Okay, they had it. Just waiting for cats to come on. Let me get this thing, man. Oh, what you saw? Somebody said about Scrapbook's fine. Listening to Scrapbook Boxing, I'm beginning to think that Errol might replicate the bloody Valentine's massacre Ray did on LaMotta. That's what's up. What's going on? Blood Boxing in the building.
What's up, my brother? How you doing, Fana?
Boxing in the building. Once his mic gets turned on. Native Black Faculty Boxing. What's going on with you, man? Fanon, I couldn't wait to listen to you, man. We got Kurt Anderson coming on the show today. It's going to be good work. Blood, you there?
Oh, hey, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can now that I turn my mic. My speakers on.
So you can't hear me, okay?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I was like, I got, shit get complicated. What do you say? What do you say, Blood?
I said good morning, Fanon.
Man, good morning. Always a pleasure to have you on the channel, man. So let me get you cooking right away. Canelo Alvarez. Oh, you see your boys coming back, right? Floyd for another pimp move. Floyd is pimping the boxing world again.
Man, listen, I don't even listen to Floyd Mayweather talk, bro. I knew he was coming back a long time ago. I said that Floyd wasn't done with this. I said that when he retired way back in 2009. I said that when he retired after fighting Manny Pacquiao that he would be back. He came back, fought Conor McGregor. I said that he would come back and at least fight Manny Pacquiao. I did a whole video on it, but, people didn't really pick up on it. But I told you Floyd would come back. Floyd just tells the people what he wants to tell them when it's convenient for him. He's always been doing that. He's done that as long as I can remember. Even before social media, he would take breaks and things like that. I have a old boxing magazine. It says Floyd Mayweather making a comeback at the age of 23 was the cover or something from back in the day. So Floyd Mayweather was always making some kind of comeback, so it doesn't surprise me, man. I'm pretty sure he'll be back. I don't think he's going to take any high risk because he's never been a high risk fighter. So, I don't expect nothing more than Manny Pacquiao, to be honest. It would be Manny Pacquiao who will go out and fight all those young guys. It's not going to be Floyd Mayweather. He was never that kind of guy. His motto was low risk, high reward. That's always been Floyd Mayweather. So no,
well, he reminds me of, man.
What's that?
He reminds me of that. He reminds me of Sugar Ray Leonard with that shit.
Sugar Ray Leonard is another great example, but at least Sugar Ray Leonard will come back and fight black fighters and things like Floyd's allergic to. I hate to say it, but I'm always going to think it. This is barbershop style boxing talk. So if I was in the barbershop right now, I'd tell y'all all the same thing. The man don't fight black fighters, man. Sugar Ray Leonard came back. He fought Marvin Hagler. Sugar Ray Leonard also fought Terry Norris, a young Terry Norris, who was in his early 20s at the time. Floyd Mayweather's not going to take a chance like that. So there's some differences, but yes, kind of the same concept. But I don't think Sugar Ray Leonard was low risk, high reward. He was high risk, low reward in that Terry Norris fight. So Sugar Ray Leonard would switch it up a little bit now and then.
Yeah, it's just I think this dude is gonna wear out his welcome so much, man, that it's just really not gonna make a difference. Curtis Anderson's in the building, man. What's good, Curtis?
What's going on, my brother? Blood Boxing. What's going on?
Kurt Sugar, my bro. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. It's good to be on OG Boxing Talk so we can talk this boxing. And let me just throw my 2 cents in there, man. I seen Sugar Ray Leonard, one of my favorite fighters, fight a guy by the name of Kevin Howard. It was a highly anticipated 1984, and he was hurt and knocked down in that fight, but he beat Kevin Howard because he caught Kevin Howard coming in with a big left hook. So that was telling me, even though he came back and beat Marvin because he caught Marvin at the right time, when you go to the well one too many times, you're going to lose. It's the natural progression of life. You've seen Ali, with Holmes. You've seen Leonard with Terry Norris and Hector Camacho, which was sad. You've seen it with Joe Louis and Rocky Marciano. And like you said, Blood, he doesn't fight black fighters. It's going to be a night where Floyd comes back and he's going to lose to a nobody. It's going to happen. I wish this guy stay away, man.
Hey, man, hide that dude. Weird breaker. Oh, somebody got him. Cool. Yeah, man, he just seems discontent. It's like this dude has got to be the center of attention, man. But more than likely, he's gonna get a good chunk of change, man. For doing this, man. Kurt, hey, we got my man. We got the top of the head of my man KQKC, the singing OG. What's good this morning, man?
Hey, man, what's good with you, man?
God, everything's good, man.
How the panel doing? How you doing, Kurt and Blood?
Hey, what's man, going on? KQ? Good
I'm
to
hanging
see you,
in,
my brother.
Yeah, good to see y'all, man.
Hey, y'all, the guy that just asked, I just put the Cash App in there, man. That's the Cash App right there. I thought it would be in the thing, but it wasn't. Adrian, bro, let me now we ready to go. I'm sorry I sent the link a little late this morning, man. I was, hanging with the wife a little longer than I usually do in the morning time. So let's say what's up to everybody in the chat, and then we're gonna chop it up about these boxing subjects. Today we're gonna do a little different. We're gonna ask people we're gonna go round robin. KQKC. After I get through this, get ready to ask the panel some questions, man. I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh man, okay. Hold on. I was just trying to put up the panel now. Hold on.
Yeah, okay. Let me say what's up. Okay, so yes, sir. Gil Coles, shout out to Gil Coles, man. Michael Johnson Boxing Talk. Donald, the people that we're gonna go around. You gotta hit your mute.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you hit your mute? Rome Far Rock, what's good, man? Corey Yellowman Jackson, St. Cruising. Mahari Nation Sports Podcast, man. You keep changing your name, confusing, tricking up my tongue. Peabody. It's a funny ass name. TC the Crisis, Drew Titan, man. Dang, man, I hate that you changed your work schedule, man. We's enjoying you on the show. Can't wait to get you back on again. Fahim Sator, the Architect One, why not? Says I was watching retro boxing documentary on Ali being stripped of his title when I got Fanaz's notification. That's what's up. Oh man, much love in the super man. Much love in the Cash App, my man. From my man Toot Robinson. Much love in the super chat, Toot Robinson. Edward Jones, Star City J, Native Black Faculty Boxing. Gregory Wyatt says, greetings, my fellow OGs. We should call you DJ Fanan. Why you calling me DJ Fanan? Because I got a mic, because my mic sounds nice. Check one. Cooley J. Cooley, Eric Adams, Reggie the Tree. All right, we're going to say what's up to everybody down here. I'm going to go down a little bit further. What is this weird breaker fighting stuff? Come on, man. Yeah. All right. So what's up to everybody in the chat? Okay. So KKC, I gave you a little time to think. This first one is for you, man. What you want to talk about? You got to pull yourself off of mute to talk.
So you got me all jittery.
I be trying to it up. I can't be asking all the questions all the time.
That's
so
okay. Well,
you are the first. You're the first pointer. You bring up the first topic today.
Okay. Well, my first topic is where would I noticed a big conversation lately. Everything the 28th of September. Okay. Now, what if Sean Porter outboxed Earl Spence? What if he dominates Earl Spence? Where will Earl Spence go from there? Would that affect his fighting style? Will that affect him mentally next time he step in the ring? How do you feel about that? If he's overwhelmed by
the next statement is, who are you asking that to?
Okay. Well, you say you want to get the chat involved, right?
Yeah, we got 3 people on the chat. Blood.
Okay. You want them? Okay. Well, let me ask you this, Kurt. All right. Okay. I thought you were talking about the chat over there. So, okay. What about you, Kurt? What you
think? Negro, that's what happens. See, Negro, that's what happened when you 45 minutes late to the show. Get off alone. You ain't had your morning coffee.
You know what?
I just haven't sipped it yet. Okay, what you think, Kurt? What you think gonna affect him mentally, or would he really come back with a vengeance?
I think that Earl will come back with a vengeance. I get that from certain fighters. I can feel Earl is a throwback fighter. He's tough mentally. You have to be when you go over to another country and take the title from a very good fighter. Olympic pedigree. Sparring Floyd Mayweather. This will shake up the welterweight division and boxing in general. If Sean Porter beats Earl Spence, I will be shocked because I don't see it happening, but this is boxing. Earl would probably ask for a rematch. Sean will make it hard for him because he will want a big money fight with Manny Pacquiao for another title. He will make Earl wait. Earl could take a rematch with Sean Porter, or he'll fight Crawford. Earl is a big name. He has multiple opponents. When you have a big upset in boxing, it always shakes things up. When a heavily favored fighter lose, like a Mike Tyson and Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas, you're always going to have upsets in boxing. This was really shocked a lot of people. People would be down on Earl because you already got people hating Earl. I got Earl number 4, pound for pound, in boxing, but people will be in shock, you know, they would be like, I didn't see this coming. But, you know, anything can happen, you know. But in a perfect world, there will probably be a rematch with Sean Porter, you know. But like I said, Sean Porter will probably fight Pacquiao for a big money fight, you know. Sean Porter is coming to fight, man, but Earl is a special fighter.
Okay. Okay. Can I
Real-
just
real
rebuttal off
quick.
of that?
Real quick.
Uh,
Hey, Stefano Martinez, much love in that super chat. And Ms. Boxing, good morning. Beautiful home. I was watching your video. I watched your video that you put up for Beverly Rose. There's a lot of feedback somewhere. Kurt, can you hit that mute? Thank you, sir. Yeah, that was a beautiful house. Beautiful house. Go ahead, Kurt. Go ahead at KQKC.
Oh no, I was saying with Kurt, that was a good answer there too. And see, the thing I was thinking, you know,
You're a moderator, dude, so you got to move it to the next person. No,
Okay.
no dialogue, no, you know, none of that in the middle.
Okay, no
You got
problem.
to get the Bloods question next.
Okay,
I'm an asshole.
all right.
Dog.
Okay, go ahead, Blood. Now, he have to ask a question. Is that correct? Or you want me to ask him a question?
Blood. Yeah, Blood.
Okay. Well, Blood, let me ask you this. Okay. Now, this is the same subject. All right.
Same question. You got to ask the same question.
Oh, the same question. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And Blood, I hope you guys are taking notes that this will be the cycle for the show today.
okay. All right. Now, what about you, Blood? How do you feel about the same thing I asked Kurt? But let me do a twist in there. Now, Sean Porter said that he's ready for every aspect of what Earl Spence has to bring. I have seen Earl Spence fight 3 different ways. Now, is too many game plans in a fighter's head. Will that confuse him and make him go back to what he knows or what he's good at?
What he's good at? What do you mean? The headbutting and the elbows and all of that?
Yes. That revert back to that.
Okay, well, let me answer your question. Before I do that, shout out to Miss Boxing. I just wanted to say that, you know, like I said, I'm Ashford, you're Simpson. You know how it goes. You Peaches, I'm Herb. But anyways, that's between me and Miss Boxing. Don't worry about that. Y'all don't worry about that. But anyway,
Negro, you know you Peaches.
The whole thing here. You know, I saw that face-to-face between Sean Porter and Errol Spence, and I found their history very interesting. The fact that Kenny Porter actually trained Errol Spence at one time, and they had some history. They've sparred before and things like that. They haven't worked together in a long time. And when they were having the discussion, you know what came up? What made me kind of question Sean Porter? The whole discussion, you heard Sean Porter talking about, well, you can't knock me out. So the whole discussion became basically, can you knock me out or can you not knock me out? So it seems to me as though Sean Porter was trying to prove to Errol Spence that, hey, you better look out, man. I'm actually a live opponent. And Errol Spence seemed somewhat dismissive of Sean Porter. He spoke about Sean Porter's skill set on that face-to-face. He said that all Sean Porter could do. He said that, I think he said something like, you have talent, not skill, or something like that. And they went into this whole discussion. But he said basically the only thing Sean Porter brings to the table is headbutts and elbows and things like that. And Sean Porter said that he is going to intentionally basically headbutt Errol Spence because he didn't deny the whole thing about the headbutt. He said, I'm going to cut you and all of that kind of stuff. So I think it's going to end up being an ugly fight. These guys got fucking beef, man. And what the hell happened to the choir boy, Errol Spence? Errol Spence used to be the choir boy, the boy with the penny loafers sitting in the corner. That's what I thought about him anyways.
Right. He should be a chilled out dude too.
Here lately, though, he's been bringing some heat, man, verbally. He's been bringing the heat on the microphone, which I was surprised to see coming from Errol Spence, who's usually soft-spoken. But Errol Spence, he's a big southpaw, strong. I don't see Sean Porter being able to outbox Errol Spence. It came up. Errol Spence proved that he could fight off his back foot against Mikey Garcia. They went back and forth. Errol Spence basically reminded him about the Kell Brook fight and what he did in the Kell Brook fight going over to England. But, like opponents don't always add up to a victory in the ring. And just because you did better against a like opponent, we have several examples of that. Sean Porter said, there's no way in hell you're going to knock me out, man. He wasn't trying to say I'm going to win the fight. He didn't sound too confident. There's no way in hell you're going to knock me out because you didn't knock out Mikey Garcia and all of that. So when it comes down to it, man, I think that Errol Spence will be able to outbox Sean Porter. I think it's going to be a rough fight, and that Sean Porter will go back to what he knows, just like he said he was going to do in the face-off. When he starts getting tagged and he starts getting outboxed and he's having to deal with that southpaw stance, the body attack and everything, he's going to go back to what he knows. He's going to go back to the head button. He's going to make it rough, and he really needs to do that to beat Errol Spence. He does need to cut Errol Spence. He needs to hit Errol Spence low a couple of times and make it dirty like they've always did in boxing. So, I have Errol Spence winning the fight. It doesn't matter what they say because they've been saying a whole lot. It's obvious that the shit is personal, even though they knew each other. Sometimes it becomes more personal when you're dealing with somebody you know. It's just like when we play our brothers and our cousins in a game of pickup ball, we want to beat them worse. It's that kind of situation.
Well, let me interrupt you 1 minute, Blood. Okay. See, Sean Porter, no, he said, look, I don't know Errol Spence. My daddy knows Errol Spence. My father is Errol Spence's friend. And of course, K. Diddy, Kenny Porter, said, hey, yeah, Earl is my guy. That's right. And of course, Sean said, hey, look, we don't play basketball together. My friends, I call. My friends, we hang out. My friends, we go to the movies. My friends, we talk all the time. Earl is not my friend. Earl is somebody that worked with my father. My father came home every day bragging about how I met this guy named Errol Spence. He's going to be a star. He's going to be this. He's going to be that. But Earl never said nothing. But I really deep down inside think he has a resentment for Errol Spence. I don't know. What you think, Blood?
I think that's possible. He could be a little bit jealous because him and Errol Spence are around the same age. If you were playing in a sport and you looked up to your father the way Sean Porter looks up to K. Diddy, which is not a bad thing, believe it or not, it's not a bad thing to look up to your father like that. But he could become a little bit jealous because maybe he felt his father was putting some focus somewhere else. I mean, he sparred him before, so he could say that he don't know him, but they've sparred before. So they do have an idea of who each other is. It might have been a long time since they sparred. They do have some history. A lot of these fighters in boxing have some kind of history to where they know each other and things like that. They hung around the same circles. I think the same thing was with Donald Curry and Milton McCrory. These guys all know each other. They spar sometimes before they get in the ring. So, this is a normal thing in boxing, man. It's a normal thing. I think that, like I said, I think that mentally Errol Spence won the face-off, okay? He looked a little tense at times, Spence did, but I think he wanted the mental battle outside the ring. Now they just got to go in there. They got to put them skill sets forth. You got Sean Porter. He's an orthodox fighter. He's a come-forward type of guy. I've seen him also in the Kell Brook fight. He was trying to fight off his back foot. So he does have, reflexes, quick reflexes. He comes with a lot of punches. It's going to be an interesting fight, but I think that Errol Spence will overcome, man. And if he does lose, I think part of your question, too, that I avoided somehow, is if Errol Spence does lose, there's a place for him to continue. I mean, fighters take losses. People hold too much stock in losses in this boxing environment. That's all I got to say.
All right. Thanks, brother. Now, what about you, Fanar? How do you feel about Sean Porter and Sean Porter and Errol Spence? How do you feel? Do you think Sean Porter gonna have too many game plans in his head and he gonna end up getting confused and revert back to what he knows best?
Well, first of all, I would like to let you know that I think about what I think about your question. Okay. I think you a closet Errol Spence Jr. hater by making the whole chat think about what's going to happen if Errol Spence Jr. loses. And as a fan of Errol Spence Jr., I cannot let that slide without me pointing that out. Now we know the truth. behind KQKC and he is a Junior the Truth. You are conspiring with Junior the Truth to put out a bunch of negativity out into the universe about Errol Spence Jr. I met that young man in Dallas. Let me tell you what I think about it. I think I met Errol Spence Jr. in Dallas maybe a couple weeks ago, and I won't say anything other than this. That is a very, very tough young dude, and he's a very nice and respectful young man. Mm-hmm. When I walked out there was raining where we were, and just like this big storm started all of a sudden. I shook his hand and was leaving, and then as I walked away, the dude was like, "Oh, by the way, man, I hear it's raining. Drive safely." I was like, "Man, what a nice dude." That just seemed to me to be a very, very nice dude. But at the same time, I set my chair in the middle, in the wrong place where I was, and he said, "You need to move that fucking chair." So I was like, "Oh, okay." This kid's mentality is like he's very, very tough-minded. Like you can tell that he's in charge of his crew. Like, but he at the same time, like he ain't no choir boy. That dude will whoop your ass. So as far as whether he loses or not, I'm not even thinking about that, man. I'm Team Spence for this fight. I'll tell you what's going to happen if Sean Porter loses. Sean Porter is going to be in the same situation Sean Porter's in right now. Sean Porter is going to be a gatekeeper. He's going to be a tough fight for anybody. He'll continue to get very nice sized checks, a considerable amount of which is going to be going to K Diddy. And, he'll move on with his life. But don't be trying to bring no Errol Spence Jr. negative voodoo shit. I know what y'all got on that. I know you doing that voodoo shit. Don't be bringing that to my chat, trying to put that negativity on the Spence family. We're going to talk about what happens with Sean Porter if Sean Porter gets his ass whooped. No.
I'm an Earl Spence fan, ride or die, and you know that.
No, you ain't wouldn't be thinking that way.
Well,
what would happen if Ali got his ass knocked out by that? Fuck that. Fuck that. I ain't answering that question. Y'all ain't doing that.
Hey, don't let Fanon get away with the mistake he just made, KQKC.
Man.
Don't let him get away with that mistake that he just made.
Why you jumping in the middle, man? Hold on. Let me mute everybody. Hold on. Let me mute everybody. I'm gonna do a Black Fight fan and mute your asses. All right, let me get to the super chat. I had to mute Blood. I'm sorry, I will unmute Blood. Slow down, y'all.
It's all right.
I got the new thing, dog. I can mute you. I can take over the whole conversation.
I see how you want to be, Fanon. That's cool, though.
Hey, no, seriously though, man, we got a super chat. There was a super chat. Actually, man, there was a Cash App that came through. Dude, I appreciate y'all doing this Cap Ash. I was a hard convert on this Cash App, but Byron Chambliss, much love in that Cash App and in the super chat. Man, I can't stand this new. It's not as easy to see him. One second. Oh, and Jay Cooley, much love. Jay Cooley said Kenny going for Errol assistant coach after the fight. He knows this. He knows his son is not beating Errol, and we're gonna smoke Bud too. Yeah, the damn right. Now, what Bud gonna do if he loses to Errol Spence Jr.? Go ahead, Bud. KQKC. Now, go ahead, Blood. What were you trying to? What slickness are you trying to call me out on?
No, I'm just saying you was like running your mouth coming down on my brother KQKC, and you made a mistake. You slipped up when you was talking. You called Sean Porter a gatekeeper. You said Sean Porter a gatekeeper. He'll be a gatekeeper like he is now. How could he be a gatekeeper now if he's a champion, right? You guys been valuing these championship belts. You can't be a gatekeeper if you're the WBC champ. So explain that, Fanon. You messed up, bro.
Certainly, I will explain that. Certainly, with great pleasure, will I explain that shit. Because there is no champion in the welterweight division. There are a bunch of fucking title holders, okay? And unfortunately, the way we are operating in boxing right now is whoever the cash cow is, the big money guy, is the one that everybody's trying to get to, okay? So Errol Spence Jr. is the money man. Manny Pacquiao's the money man. Belt or no belt, Sean Porter is a fucking also ran. Sorry to disrespect the state of Ohio. So that is what I mean by he's a gatekeeper.
So if you're the money man, then you're the. So hold on, you don't like people to cut you off because you don't like the debate. That's what it is. You don't like the debate. So if he
can't hear you, Blood.
Being the champion is being the money man.
Blood, you cut out on me, dog. Can't hear you. Can you say that again? What happened? Unmute your mic, Blood.
You muted me, bro. You muted me, man. You muted me, stuff for now. Hey, y'all. Fanon keeps muting me, man. Fanon keeps muting me up on the set. I just want y'all to know that he muted me. He's got the control of the box there. He's cheating on me, man.
Hey, I promise I was low blow. It was ref. I promise I won't do it. The ref said
he just said that the money man equates to being the champion. So I guess Anthony Joshua was the champ the whole time. That's
Hold on. I didn't say champ.
Go back.
I didn't say champ.
See, you're so busy muting me, you hear me, man. That's all right.
Well, for the record,
rewind the tape. I didn't say that. I didn't say the champion.
But for the record,
there is no champion. There is no champion in the sport of boxing right now. There's a bunch of title holders. Everybody got titles.
Well, for the record, I am an Errol Spence fan. I always liked Errol Spence. I always loved Errol Spence fighting style.
Just stop putting that juju on that young man. Stop putting the juju.
I'm just trying to, cover all bases, because it's gonna be a tough fight, and he's not just gonna walk in there, and knock him out. It's gonna be hard,
Hey,
but he will come through at the end,
Fahim Satur said, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead, KQKC, because Fahim Satur just talked some shit, and I take on all smoke. No worries. I will bust up blood boxing. I have no problem doing it. But finish your statement, then we'll go.
I was just saying that.
I'll get back to blood.
But I think Earl will prevail at the end, but I think it's going to be a tough fight for him. That's what I believe. And once he gets past Sean Porter, can't nobody say that he hasn't made it. He hasn't been a pound for pound good fighter. You can't say that the Kell Brook was a fluke. He was a damaged fighter. You can't say that once he beat Sean Porter. So that's what I'm trying to say, that it doesn't matter, how he fights. He's going to still stop Sean Porter. How? I don't think by knockout, but I think by unanimous decision. So that's it.
Blood, please continue with your diatribe ass attack on me that I will deflect with the greatest of ease.
No, actually you cleared it up because you just said that there are no champions in boxing. They're all a bunch of title holders, which is what I wanted to come up anyway.
Yeah, Negro. Yeah, I know your word. Tell him I did it. Tell him I did it. And how I did it. That's your saying. I was going to fucking hoist you on that bitch.
I wanted that you did exactly what I thought might happen. So that's great. That ended up being what I thought it would be. So.
Hey, just so y'all know, he couldn't have got out of that, dog. Yeah. Go. Round 1 for 9. Go ahead, KQKC. Do you have what's your next? Oh, actually, did you get to Curtis? It's your round of questions this time. Hey, but KQKC, wrap it up in spiritual style, dog. I love how you getting confident. You letting them ideas flow. So please complete your thought and pass the baton over to Curtis Anderson. But everybody, please note that that's the second time I got Blood's ass. Thank you.
But like I was saying, the reason why I asked that is because the thing is this, I heard Sean Porter said, no, don't worry. We have seen you fight. We know you got different tools in your toolbox. We know that you can fight a different way. Chris Algieri, Mikey Garcia on the back foot, and Kell Brook. We know you know how to fight. So that's why that I brought in Benavidez and Demetrius Andre and all these different fighters, so we can have all bases covered. But I said on my live stream the other day that when you put a fighter to plan 1, plan 2, plan 3, plan 4, that confuses a fighter. especially when you standing in front of a person. Yes, you can make adjustments, but when you make those adjustments, you better be careful when you make those adjustments because you might just get hit trying to make or switch or do whatever you're going to do. You can't outbox Earl Spence. Yes, he was a great amateur, but he was an international amateur. Okay. And that's what Kenny Porter had came in at. You know, he wasn't a head coach, but he was on the team of Spence. So at the end of the day, when you get ready and revert back to what you know good, which is elbows and head, and open your head, use your head to open your guard up, it's going to be something waiting. Now, Keith Thurman had the idea. Come on in. Don't move straight back because you know what's going to happen when you move straight back. So you got to move side to side. So when you move side to side, guess what's waiting? An uppercut, a check hook. Remember, Earl Spence is a full-fledged welterweight. And that's all I have.
Curtis Anderson. Oh, let me get these super chats first. Much love to the super chat, my OKC Boxing Talk on Cuss. And what happens if Errol handles Porter easy? Let me pass that around real quick. And my man Adewale M, much love, said peace to the OGs. What happens if that happens? My opinion is that Manny Pacquiao ducks him. That would be my that's what I think would happen. What do you think happens, Curtis? You answer that question, and you can pose the next question to the chat. I mean, to the panel.
Absolutely, Fanon. If Earl looks like a world beater, Manny in no way, no how is going to fight Earl. Manny may fight Mikey Garcia or Danny Garcia. He don't want no parts of Earl already. That's going to scare him off. I said this before. Earl and Terrence Crawford is the fight in the division and all of boxing. I got Crawford number 1 pound for pound and Earl number 4. Every other fight or any other combination in the welterweight division is what I call a junior varsity fight. We want to see Crawford and Spence. That will put hot sauce on that fight, and that can happen. I was picking Spence real quick. I was picking Spence by unanimous decision over Porter, but Earl is coming to knock him out, and that's a dangerous fight for Sean Porter, man. I see it in his eyes. I love Earl's temperament and his attitude. He's showing you that he's fighting a different way. The way he fought Mikey, his mindset was to box. This is going to be totally different. He's not going in there to box Sean Porter. He's going in there to knock him out. And Earl is an expert at building blocks for, knocking people out, just like he did with Kell Brooks. Earl has great place punchment. He's a boxer, but he's a puncher as well. And Sean is not hard to hit. I think he's going to attack his body. And if Sean Porter fights in close range, I think watch the Earl Spence uppercut. That's what they're working on. So, I would not be surprised if he stopped Sean Porter. Sean Porter is tough, but he's no Marvin Hagler. He's going to get hit, and he's going to get hit a lot. The only person that can beat Earl is Terrence. Now, my question for the panel is, in the 154-pound junior middleweight division, you seem to have a log jam. There's a lot of talent there. You have Tony Harrison, who defeated Charlo, even though I thought Charlo won. You have Jermell Charlo. You have Erickson Lubin. You have Julian J. Rock Williams, who's a very cerebral and subtle fighter. He does a lot of things in the ring. Jared Hurd may be moving up to 160 and Jaime Munguia, but if those guys, stay at the 154-pound weight division, who do you see as the last man standing? Who do you see as the dominant fighter or the champion in that division?
Who's that too?
I'm sorry, Blood first, and then Fernand and KQKC.
I'm going to tell you, man, the division is stacked, my brother, okay? I've been talking about this for a while, and this is part of the reason why I have problems with the fighters personally, because when it comes to matchmaking and getting these fights done, you got Mongia, who's over there with Golden Boy, okay? Golden Boy fights on the app right now. They're fighting on the DAZN app. Pretty much Mongia is not even getting featured. He's not that good anyway. He's had some controversial fights and things like that. But if you get to mix them in there with these PBC fighters, I think that a few of them could beat Mongia, okay? So just to get that over with. And then the rest of these guys are all on the PBC. That's the problem that I have. That's why they need to create a PBC belt, all right, and then do a ranking system. You got Tony Harrison, you got Jamal Charlo, you got Julian Williams, you got Laura, you got Hurd. I don't know if Hurd is moving up. I've heard different stuff about Hurd, but if you get all of these guys together, I think that Jermell Charlo will come out on top, because when he fights Tony Harrison again, I do believe that he has the ingredients to beat Tony Harrison. It was a very close fight last time. You already saw what he did to Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin, he's been looking pretty good in his comeback, and I still think he needs a little bit more work before he starts dealing with Charlo. I don't know why he wants to rush it, because he's significantly younger than, even though Charlo's still young, Lubin is a baby. He's like 22 years old. So he's like 6 or 7 years younger than Charlo, which that will be a factor the longer he waits. So he needs to just take his time and stop rushing to be a superstar and a title holder. Because like Fanon brought up earlier, these guys are all title holders. You got Julian Williams. He's got a couple of the belts. He beat Hurd. Julian Williams versus Harrison's a good fight. Laura is a good fight for Julian Williams also. You got all of these. You got a lot of talent there. But I will definitely put Jermell Charlo. He's still my favorite of the bunch. Even though he took the L, it was close. He's still my favorite of the bunch, man. But as far as these guys, as fighters, man, I don't like their personalities. These guys are happy being title holders. They're happy getting, the paydays that they're getting. They're getting smaller paydays than the fighters from the 80s and 90s. And that's what they're happy with, being title holders. These guys need to come together. PBC needs to get rid of all these belts that are in the mix. The WBC, the WBA, and the IBF. The WBO don't even count, because they don't even rank PBC fighters. It's a bunch of politics going on. They have fake ranking systems. Once again, I'm looking at them right now. Kell Brook is at number 3. Ain't fought nobody, nowhere to be found. So, it's guys just got to get together, man, and stop with all the bullshit. The super welterweight division is also one of those divisions where a fighter could go back down, or they could go up, or things like that. They've even talked about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford mixing it up with some super welterweights. They've talked about super welterweights such as Hurd fighting at middleweight, because you have 160, you have 154, and then you have 147. These guys are all around the same size. There's, in between these 3 weight classes, what is there, like 16 belts? Because if you look at silver and all that shit, there's like 16, 17 belts between this 9-pound radius between 3 weight classes. But when you get up to light heavyweight and cruiserweight, you start getting 20 pounds, 25-pound differences and stuff like that. So, man, I just wish boxing would go back to the original weight classes, the original 8 weight classes, man. I wish these guys could get together and fight, man. I'm tired of all these different promotional outfits and things like that. I think it all comes down to boxing politics. We all know what that's all about, man. Plus,
excellent.
I don't these guys can't make up their mind what color hair they want.
That's a great answer. You next, Fanon.
Oh, first, before I get that, Ron Finkley was talking about the Errol Spence and his rehydration, and I said in the comment section, I was just in the middle of typing this, that there is no same day there is no next day rehydration for this fight, weigh-in for this fight, and that's because the IBF and the WBC are on the line, and the IBF rule for same day weigh-ins are waived in unification fights because the WBC doesn't require it, and they're not going to put their champion at a disadvantage. So that's why he'll have more time to hydrate. As far as like what I think is going to happen in the 154-pound division, I think I agree with Blood. I think that Jermell Charlo is probably the one that would come out on top. I have a bad feeling about J-Rock and Erislandy Lara. Just because, I mean, Erislandy Lara lost a very close fight to Jared Hurd, who was a lot bigger than him and wound up dropping him in the 12th round. But other ways that fight could have went either way between him and Jared Hurd. But I don't know if J-Rock would really have the ability to outbox a southpaw Erislandy Lara. So I think Erislandy Lara, and I'm saying that because I heard that there's conversations about that fight happening. That I think that's a tough match for J-Rock. But I think that Jermell Charlo, I think he's the best fighter at 154, but I think that he needs to mature a little bit because, when I watched the Tony Harrison fight, I thought he could have won that fight very easily if he would have just decided to box and win the fight instead of trying to take Tony Harrison's head off his shoulders with every punch, which allowed him to do better than he should have. So other than that, I think I agree with Blood in Jermell. That is Jermell Charlo, and I don't count Hurd the whole WBC thing, like Blood said, the WBO thing, like Blood said, it's a joke. Nobody's even thinking about Jaime Munguia fighting anybody at that weight class. It's like he has a belt, and it's just in it, and literally he's not even a champion at the weight class because he's not talking about fighting anybody that has a belt in that weight class, and nobody's pushing him to do so. It's just a crap situation.
Absolutely, for now. Before I get to KQKC, I just want to wrap it up by saying if Charlo early in his career when he used to box, man, he would have beat Harrison easy. If you notice, ever since he started becoming this knockout puncher, when he knocked out Charles Hatley, and Erickson Lubin, it seemed like his temperament changed, and every punch he's tried to take your head off. If you notice his style, everything is tight. So I just want him to be more fluid, relaxed, because he seems to fight with a lot of emotion, and that can backfire. And it did against Harrison. And like you said, Fanon, he could have made that fight a lot easier just by boxing and being more fluid. Let the knockout come by itself. Don't try to knock people out with every punch. He's in great shape because every punch is a bomb. So I like Charlo as well. So I'm going to pass it on to you, KQKC. Same question.
Okay. Hey, no problem. First of all, let me get to what you were saying about Charlo. You're right. Charlo is more aggressive. He always been aggressive, him and his brother, and now he is sitting down on more of his punches and more aggressive. That comes from sparring with Earl Spence. See, Earl Spence is a heavy puncher, and he could easily be 154. No problem. Now, and ever since he's been sparring with Earl Spence, we have noticed that every punch is mean intentions. We have seen that. Now, what happened to the game plan? I don't know. But I know Derrick James was furious. I know he was furious because right off the bat, he come in there ready to throw bombs and knock Tony Harrison head off. What Tony Harrison do? He boxed him. And I think Jermell would have boxed him too and would have won. No, he blew that fight. Now he finally admitted that he didn't follow instructions. See, your coach and trainers over there for a reason. They see things that you can't see. And you need to follow instructions. Now, I hate to say this, but Deontay Wilder did the same thing with Tyson Fury. He supposed to been going to the body. He didn't do that. What happened? I don't know. But he went straight to head hunting, and he was off. He was overthrowing the right. But, that's boxing. Sometimes you got to take control in and outside the ring. Sometimes you have to follow directions. You have to listen. So therefore, yes, I think Charlo will be a formidable opponent. J-Rock, yes, he has got knocked out by Charlo. Yes, he got knocked out cold. But, see, that's the key. Just because you got a loss on your record, that don't mean that, hey, boxing life is over with. He came back. He built himself up. He worked on what was good and he worked on what was bad. And now look at him. He's a champion. See, but he's not one of them champions with that killer instinct, with that attitude instinct. That's a Charlo. That's a Charlo move. That's a Charlo mode. He can go from 1 to 100 just like that. But you got to have that killer instinct. Like Wilder, he has it. But outside the ring, he's what? A lovable husband, a lovable family member. He does what he has to do. So that's what I'm saying. Then Jarek Hurd, I cannot put him up there with a top 154 because it basically, you got to tear him down and build him back up because I don't know how long he went with using his guard as a face, his face as a guard, because he don't have no type of defense at all. He's easy to get hit from round 1 to round 6 or 7. Then, and only then, that's when he took over. Now we all know how little Laura was compared to him, but Laura, he stood there. He stood there and fought like a man. Yes, age might be a difference. He didn't get on his what they call glider. He didn't use the ring. He stood there and he boxed and boxed to fatigue and strength took over. So, oh no, Hurd don't have nothing to be proud of. He need to stand up and fight tall and be stronger. So Charlo, yes, he's the better boxer. He has the better fundamentals. So there you go, right there. Now, why they didn't stay with Ronnie Shields, I don't know. Both Charlos, one Charlo and Erislandy Lara, he's gone to. So, but I still think Charlo is one of the 154 to look out for.
Can we get an answer to the question, Doug? Who is going to come out on top?
I'm sorry. Okay,
you said one of
okay, Charlo. Okay, Charlo. Okay, I'm sorry. Charlo will come out on top with no hesitation. He will find a way to beat you. He will outbox you or he'll outpunch you. So I really believe he'll come out as the top 154 pounder.
Thank you very much. We're not allowing any Spencer Fearon ducking of the questions going on in this joint, right? We need the answer to the question.
Okay, for now.
The next question is, I'm just having fun, man. You're doing an excellent job, man. I love the energy, all that good old stuff. Blood boxing. The question is now upon you, homie.
Oh, so I ask the question. I get there.
Don't trick me, son. Don't try to trick me.
Ask the question. That's okay. I'll ask the question. But before I do that, man, I'm just wondering why y'all in the chat are selling us short, man. I got Blue Blood Sports number. If y'all don't smash that like button, man, I'm gonna call Blue Blood up and I'm gonna have them come in here and scold y'all about giving us our credit, man. Y'all sit there and watch us. Y'all don't support us. Y'all don't support the OG boxing platform. You sit right there, 200 people more than the likes, man. Come on, give us a rating, man. I'm waking up every Sunday morning to talk to y'all. Y'all can't give me a rating, man. Give Fanon and KQKC and Kurt Anderson Sugar, who we got on the panel. And Drew Titan, get your ass back on the panel, man. I don't want to be the youngest guy on here, man, with all these old farts, man. Get your ass back on the channel, okay? Now, I got a really good question for you guys, all right? And you know what? I'm not even going to give – this goes to Fanon first because I'm not giving Fanon no time to think about it, okay? Now, there's been a lot of talk going around back on this AJ Ruiz thing, okay? Deontay Wilder, our heavyweight champion, says that AJ lacks the confidence to beat Ruiz. Then there's other people going around, and I noticed it too, and I noticed that Ruiz looked like a Teletubby, like a Michelin man. And I'll tell you what, Ruiz was focused in that first fight because he was coming off of a training camp. So Ruiz's conditioning is in question at this time. He was looking fat, okay? This time is going to creep up on him. He's got big money now. He's going around spending big. So my question, starting with Fanon, and I want the question answered by all three of you brothers, which one will be the biggest factor? AJ's confidence or Ruiz's condition? That's the question. You want me to repeat it, Fanon?
No. I have an IQ above 90, Negro. I understood what you said. I think that the biggest factor between the two, because you're giving me between the two, between the two, I would say AJ's confidence because he got his ass knocked the fuck out. He got knocked down 4 times. He's got that shit in his mind. Getting knocked down 4 times, quitting up against the ropes, that is something to overcome. You know, the fact that Andy Ruiz is fat, Andy Ruiz been fat his whole fucking life. You know, that ain't the first time he been fat. And, you know, yeah, so I would say that the biggest issue was Anthony Joshua's confidence because Anthony Joshua he got smoked by this dude. And he's looking at this cat and he's calling this guy he said he's the best heavyweight in the world right now, that being Ruiz. You know, he's saying one thing about, you know, a punch, you know, a lucky punch, then it wasn't a lucky punch, it's a punch from the gods, all of that crap. So, yeah, I have to believe that once you get your ass whooped by a short, fat dude, you know, that's going to be on your mind. Andy Ruiz, though, dude's big fat. And the fight's not till December. And this is September, so you got 3 whole months to shed some of that weight. I don't think the weight's necessarily an issue for him, and the rest might actually do him good. But I don't know. Like, do fat people deal better in heat because they got more water weight, right, and more fat to, you know? I wonder how that works with it, man. I think another big issue is going to be that climate. Because them dudes about to be fighting in the middle of a fucking desert, which makes no sense to me. But yeah, my answer is that it's AJ haven't gotten his ass beat up.
Okay, you heard it from Fernando Don. He's going with AJ's confidence is what's going to be the major factor in the fight. Now let's go to KQKC. I'm gonna ask you, my brother KQKC, man, which one will be the biggest factor? AJ's confidence or Ruiz's condition?
Well, I'm gonna answer the question, okay, for now. I'm gonna get to it.
No, you're not.
Okay, I'm gonna answer the question.
I bet you $50 you bring up Tyson Fury.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Now, I will say this, okay. Now, AJ, you know, when you are that big, you have all those belts. You are this famous star that they picked. All right. Now, all of a sudden, you know, you get beat up or get whooped, get knocked down 4 times by someone that never, ever looked like that you fought before. That's embarrassment. That's embarrassment. That's making you look like a sap. That making you look like a sissy. That way makes you look like one of them soft motherfuckers. I'm sorry. I had to say that. That's what it make him look like. Now, Andy Ruiz, now he got time. He got time to slim down. But does he fight better with weight on him? Because, like I said, like Adam Konecki said, you know, this ain't no beauty contest. He got fast hands. And that's what counts. You use your hands in boxing. That was it's all about. Now, can he handle his speed? I don't know. But I tell you this, what's going to happen is this. Andy Ruiz, weight will not play a factor. It will not play a factor at all. Now, AJ, yes, that would play a factor. His mentality. When his team tell him that you lose his fight, your career is over with. What team tells you that? What kind of team or trainer you have? No, I say Andy Ruiz, weight will not be a factor in this fight. He had fought that way pretty much all his life. Remember, America is made up of different types of Americans, sports Americans. You know, we got fat, tall, skinny, short, you name it. All athletes in America are good at something. They're not looking like Mr. Olympian, you know. Andy Ruiz. Whoever thought he, looking at him, would win all those heavyweight belts? Whoever thought that going in that fight? Huh? A lot of people lost a lot of money, didn't they? Yes, I bet they did. So No, Andy Ruiz. And the answer is no. Andy Ruiz weight would not be a factor. What will be a factor is his hand speed, slapping AJ across the face many times. That's my answer.
Okay, good answer, man. And before I go any further and I go to Kurt, I want to give a shout out to Deion Washington in the super chat. That's right. This is Wilder's homeboy. He grew up with Wilder, all right? Played football with him and everything. He says, since Blood is scolding us, I'm in the super chat. Thanks a whole lot, man. Hey, man, y'all continue to smash that like button because really, man, we putting in some work here, man. We getting up early. Y'all got to smash the like button for us, man. We come on once a week, man. Give OG Boxing Talk some love. Give us some love over here, man. All right, we a little older, man. All right, we're getting up. Fanon, his knees and shit are hurting, man. So y'all got to give us that, give us that support, man. For Fanon getting up with hurt knees to deal with us and talk boxing with us. All right, and send them super chats too. Now I'm gonna go.
You messed that up though, Blood. You can't be doing. Hey, Blood, you did him wrong, dog. You got to read it the way it's supposed to be read, man.
Oh, well, how'd I read it wrong?
Look at the last word he put in there again.
Let me go back up in here, man. Now I done scroll back down. Hold on. You talking about Deion Washington, right?
Yeah, it says Sue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta sing it, dog. He was trying to get you to KQKC it.
I can't do that like KQKC. You know what, KQKC? Can you please read Deion Washington's comment the right way, the way that the singing OG does it? KQ, where you at, man? KQ ain't trying.
Okay, here I go. What's that? Deion Washington, and that's but chat. No, y'all ain't laughing, man. I'm working
Ricky
on
Samuel said over 350 in here. Smash that like button. Main event Mark said hit that like button. Show some love to the LDBC. Dead Game Boxing. Salute General. Salute from Louisiana. That's what's up. Much, hey man, I appreciate it, man. I ain't big on the likes, the dislikes. Hey, somebody hit that mute. That's you. You on that mute. Somebody got a lot of. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, hit the like, man. Hit the like, man. We got 434 people in the building. Hey, can somebody do me a favor? Maybe somebody just put it in the chat every once in a while. Just say, man, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Yeah. KQKC in the building. With the top 10 jingle. Go ahead, man. So who is this going to next? Blood.
It's going to my brother, the historian himself is here with us, man. Kurt Anderson. Sugar, we're blessed to have him. Hopefully we can have him as a regular on OG Boxing Talk. But the question is, Mr. Kurt, which one will be the biggest factor? Anthony Joshua's confidence or the condition of Ruiz? Yes, we know he was always fat, but he's looking even more fat. I looked at him and he looks way out of shape. Remember, he had a camp before this now. And I've heard you talk a little bit about this, Kurt. That's why I saved you for last, because I've already heard you talk about it. But go ahead and give us your take.
It's a very good question. Hey, I would love to be a regular on OG Boxing Talk. I'm having fun, man. Fanon is funny as hell. I'm with my brothers. That's a good question because it's going to be you had heavyweights in the past that was overweight but can fight. You had Greg Page, who was always overweight, James, the Axe Broad, Tim Witherspoon, those, even James Buster Douglas, he was in shape against Tyson, but, you got heavyweights, that was always big but can fight. Ruiz has fast hands. It's amazing when you see this short, fat guy with the hand speed that he has. His only loss was to Joseph Parker, in a very close fight. They fought in New Zealand, but it's going to be Anthony Joshua's confidence, because when you're a 20-1 favorite and you lose, it weighs heavily on your mind. You can't hide that chin. He doesn't have confidence in his chin. He's been hurt multiple times, and he was knocked out in his last fight, and you're fighting the same guy. So psychologically, that has to weigh heavy on you because it's nothing you can do. You know, you can tuck your chin behind your shoulder, but Anthony Joshua is one of those fighters. When he get hit, he melts, and that's who he is, and he can't hide that. You know, it's only him, Ruiz, and referees in the ring. What worries me about Ruiz is not only his physical condition, it's his mental condition. Will he be satisfied that, you know, he's getting money now and then fame? He's having a lot of fun going on shows. He was on First Take the other day, blinged out and driving around in Rolls Royces. And I mean, he's having fun. Now he has the pressure. I mean, it's not physical, it's more mental. Now he has the pressure of a whole country, you know, behind, you know, be rooting for him. You know, George Lopez is talking about it. He has the attention of a whole country. So that's mental pressure, psychological pressure. But I'm not worrying about his condition because I think he's going to get the AJ round about the 4th or 5th round. You know, as soon as he hit him, I think AJ is going to melt like a popsicle in the desert. That's what I think. You know, the only thing I hope Ruiz doesn't pull of a leader Alvarez. You know, meaning that when he fought Kovalev the second time, he was very, really unprepared mentally and not really physically, but mentally. So even though we're talking about physical condition, you have to put the mental condition on that part. I just want him to fight and don't go in there and try to knock out Joshua like he did the first fight. Build blocks of a knockout because he can outbox Joshua and get inside because Joshua is very robotic. And once you hit Joshua, man, you know, he has a chin like your grandmother's china. So I will say it's Joshua's conditioning, you know, that's going to do him, man. And that's the answer to your question, Blood.
All right, let me get the couple of super chats came through. My man Black Wall Street said Ruiz is going to make AJ quit. And TC, the crisis, smash that like button and quit looking at me. That's that Black Fight fan, man. All right, so this question is mine. This question is mine. All right, man. So, you know, there's a mega fight coming up. Canelo Alvarez versus Sergey Kovalev. Looks like that is being finalized. What is your thoughts? I'm gonna start here with I'm gonna start this with Kurt Anderson. What's your thought on that fight happening? Oh, actually, before I do that, let me hit these 2 super chats. My man Gregory Wise said Joshua quit. He wasn't KO'd. His confidence hasn't recovered after that. Butt whooping. He may quit again. The Boxing Good says salute to the mighty LDBC and hit that like button for the OGs. Cypher Supreme TV says salute to the panel. Great chat. Thank you, sir. And by the way, I have no problems with my knees. That's just okay. That's just I have a problem with my knee. Just the left one.
Now, Fernand, I know it was a knockout, but it's considered a technical knockout. To answer that question, because he said it wasn't a knockout, he quit. So,
yeah, he did quit. It was a TKO. It was a TKO.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, you got. Yeah, I think what he's trying to do is he's telling you, look, man, he didn't get knocked. He didn't get beat up to the point where he couldn't get up. He stopped fighting. And that's a mental issue. I think that's what he's saying.
Oh, okay.
But all right, man. So, but KQKZ, let me go to that with you, man, on Kovalev versus Canelo. What do you see? What's going on, PFTV Boxing? What's good, OGs? Everything's good. Much love in that super chat, sir. What are your thoughts on the Canelo Kovalev?
Well, I really believe that Canelo will dominate Kovalev. Kovalev, yes, he's been there before, and he's older now, and he's looking for a nice payday so he can get out. And I really believe that. You know, yeah, he put on a good performance with Anthony Yarde, and Anthony Yarde gave him a good fight too. Anthony Yarde is just still not ready right now. But, you know, I admire what he did by going over there in Russia. But what I think going to happen is Canelo will give him a lot of movement. Now, Canelo been doing that a lot lately. When he fought Triple G, he was moving. He was fighting on the back foot. He's learning a lot now since Floyd whooped that ass. So what he's doing now is moving a lot, making Kovalev is one of those fighters that he resets. He have to reset, then he punches. So once he moves, and once he reset, then he goes in for the punch. Now he cuts off the ring pretty good, but I still don't think he can stand up to a younger Canelo Alvarez. So I believe that fight going to turn out to go Canelo Alvarez way. So it would be old lion versus young lion. So that's how I look at it. And that's all.
Cool. Curtis Anderson.
Oh, this has TKO written all over it, man. When Ward beat Kovalev, I said Kovalev will never be the same. Then he lost again against Alvarez, Alida Alvarez, even though he got his belt back and people was giving Buddy McGirt credit, which I could see that. But it was more of how Alvarez was unprepared. Then he escaped against Anthony Yard because Yard didn't have the experience or the ring IQ. And ring IQ means everything. And that's what Canelo has. He has experience. He's well seasoned. He has a high ring IQ. He's going to go to Kovalev's body, man. He's going to be very aggressive against Kovalev, because Kovalev is best when he keep you at the tail end of his punches, his jab, and his right hand. And, and Canelo knows this. He's going to dip low, dip inside, cut the ring off, and hit Kovalev with wicked body combinations, man. I could see then he's going to go upstairs. He's going to wear Kovalev down and get him out of there between 6 and 9, maybe 8 rounds or so, because Kovalev is very weak to the body. Kovalev was almost knocked out by Yard. I think about the 8th round, maybe 7. My memory escapes me, but Canelo sees that. And that's what he's working on. And, watch for the left hook to the body. Then he's going to bring a common, to bring body punches up to the head. So I like Canelo by TKO and between 8 and 9 rounds. Some people say he may get Canelo problems with his jab. Canelo is too smart, man. Canelo is a very smart fighter. He can adapt to your style. He can fight, even though I give him hell. He's a heck of a fighter. And the way you beat Canelo, Kovalev doesn't have that style with rhythmic and perpetual movement like a Floyd Mayweather, moving left to right, right to left, going back. Those type of fighters give him problems, the Lauras. Kovalev doesn't have that. He's a good puncher with a long jab, but Canelo going to slip that jab, and it's going to be the body work, and then left hook to the dome, and there goes Kovalev. TKO, Canelo, round 8.
All right, not Raja should be unblocked. I saw that in the comment section. I just didn't make a comment until I actually went and got it. Okay, Blood, it's on you.
Okay, man. First of all, I just wanted to say that I don't support Canelo's promotional outfit, which is Golden Boy Promotions. I don't support the platform, DAZN, and Canelo is being downplayed anyways because he's fighting on this DAZN platform. They tried to say that he had 5 million viewers or something on that. I heard different numbers, but some of his career is not being displayed on TV because nobody over here has the DAZN app. So I still don't know what made Oscar De La Hoya go out there and sign with this DAZN app. Now, as far as the fight between Canelo and Sergey Kovalev. Okay, Kovalev, we saw in the Anthony Yard fight that he's getting older. He looked like he was damn near out of there. What was it, round 8 or 9? I forgot which one. It was either round 8 or round 9. He was almost taken out of there. He looked like he was drained. He had a second win. But Canelo is a much younger fighter. There's almost a decade between these two guys. You got one guy in his late 20s, one in his late 30s. You got a guy in Canelo who has great upper body movement. He could roll punches. He could do all of that. What Canelo lacks is the footwork. He doesn't have the footwork, okay? But everything else, he has great ring IQ. And like Kurt Anderson said, a fighter to beat Canelo, you're going to have that in and out, that lateral movement. You're going to have some great footwork, and you're going to have quick reflexes, because Canelo throws his punches together very well, which I think he's just going to be a little bit too much for Kovalev at this stage in Kovalev's career. Canelo can't make up his mind on what weight class he wants to fight, and that's another problem. Nobody brings this up. Canelo is the only fighter who somebody would mention a welterweight fighting, and then they'll turn around the next day and mention him fighting a light heavyweight, which is fucking ridiculous. You know, there'll be talk about him fighting Errol Spence. Then there'll be talk about him fighting Kovalev and all of these type of guys, which is like, so he fights within a range of like what, from 147 to 175. That's like a 30-pound range that Canelo fights between. He's made up his own weight classes over the years. He's I wouldn't call him a low risk, high reward type guy yet. I'm watching him very closely though, but they move him around, you know, and they kind of match him up with who's convenient or who's good to match him up with. They make safe matchups with him, and if he does win, I'm expecting him to unify somewhere. Fight those younger guys, man. If you're gonna win at light heavyweight, fight the other champions. Fight Bivol and Beterbiev. I think Beterbiev is a little advanced in age too, but they're not showing the wear and tear that Kovalev is fighting. Fight the other guy who beat Adonis Stevenson. Fight all of those guys. But I think Canelo is gonna. I think his menu right now is European fighters. That's what's on the menu right now, because these guys lack the footwork to deal with him. I think that he'll be in trouble if he fights that guy who fought Adonis Stevenson, though. I can never say the guy's name. Maybe one of you guys.
Wait, check.
Yeah. Him. I think that because some of those guys, man, they utilize those angles pretty good, like Lomachenko. Some of them Eastern European guys, they utilize those angles good that's needed to beat Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo Alvarez really is a light heavyweight, in my opinion. I think it's absurd that they even mention him fighting guys like Errol Spence. But Oscar De La Hoya would call out an Errol Spence because he knows that Errol Spence is naturally 25 pounds smaller than Canelo Alvarez. Look at Canelo Alvarez. Look at his neck. Look at his head. You could put that fucking head on a fucking heavyweight, okay? You could put his head on Tyson Fury. That's how big his head is, okay? So, you know, he's just another big waterhead Mexican non-black fighter that they're trying to promote, man. I don't hold much stock in Canelo. Don't support his promotional outfit. I think it's fucked up that he's getting stuck under the Zone app. When he leaves Oscar De La Hoya and starts fighting some fighters who have the movement to deal with him and stop with this, because I'm beginning to believe he's low risk, high reward, because you know they're matching them up. Stop with all these matchups of older fighters and flat-footed fighters. I'll have more respect for him. Until that time happens, man, if he beats Kovalev, it isn't a big deal to me. He just wins another title out of the 70-something titles that's going around out there. Like you said, there are no real champions in boxing right now. That's why people need to shut the fuck up with this. Oh, he beat 25 champs and all of that. Like, I bring this shit up every week, man. I'll bring it up every week. There ain't no champions, okay? Which Fanon said he beat me up, but that's what I wanted Fanon to say. So I won that round because I got manipulated him and got him to say what I wanted him to say anyway. All right? There are no champions.
It took you a half hour to come up with that one.
But that's what I got to say about Canelo, man. I'm not feeling him. I'm not feeling the promotional outfit. I'm not feeling the Zone app. I'm not feeling the fact that he goes around from division to division. I'm not feeling the fact that you could talk about a welterweight fighting him and then you could talk about a light heavyweight fighting him. What other fighter has been like that? The last one I can remember, Kurt, was Paul Williams, who would fight in such a wide range. I mean, it's a pretty wide range that Canelo Alvarez covers. He covers a wide range, and he can't make up his mind where he wants to go. Matchups. It's all about fooling the public. He skipped out on Charlo and all of them type of guys. So, you know, I don't got no respect for him. He has taken a few chances. He did fight Laura. You saw what happened. He fought Hurd. He was matched up against Hurd. And, you know, he did fight the legendary Floyd Mayweather when he was 22 years old. But we'll see what happens, man. I'm expecting him to step up, and I want him to leave Golden Boy. If he wants my support, he could start by leaving Golden Boy. There was all this news out a month ago about how him and Oscar De La Hoya was on bad terms. Now they're all buddy again. Now he's back over at Oscar De La Hoya's house eating enchiladas up in the kitchen. Something that been up in Oscar De La Hoya. You know what? He up here eating and sharing salad and tossing salads with him and shit. Whatever, man. That's what I got to say.
Hey, man, let me get these couple super chats, man, because I appreciate y'all support. B&B Boxing said, AJ act like a hood chick who been talking smack to the wrong one. When he get hit, he curl up in a ball. And Black Fight Fan TV and the homeboy 78 Sports TV on Trill Boxing Talk tomorrow morning. Make sure you're there on time. He says, salute to the brothers. Thank you all for the content. Hashtag LDBC. Yes, sir. And in honor of Trill Boxing Talk, we got to bring up some Lomachenko, because it's rumored that Lomachenko is about to go to Australia to cherry pick some bum. So let's talk about I'm sorry. I'll wait to my question. We got about another 40 minutes left in the show. Kate, let me read some comments in the comment section to give KQKC time. Oh, actually, give Blood. We'll reverse it. Give Blood an opportunity to bring up another question that we'll cover. If anybody wants to put in a 10-cent super chat, and I mean 10 cent just because, or something with Fanon in it. Matter of fact, that's what we do. Put Fanon in, direct the question to me, and then put the comment in, and then we'll go round robin and answer the question from the chat. And the first one comes up. Yeah, no need to super chat it. Yeah, Black Fight Fan. He about to go to Australia. He about to go get Jeff Horn out there, dog. Australia. Because he can't sell tickets because they don't believe in Jesus in the United States, dog. So we wait for the question. Wild one, come here, man, shoot up. Unless Fanon, you got to put at Fanon so it comes up in yellow. But I'll go with this one for Jafari Caesar. Fanon, these fighters want to be great, but they don't want to prove they are great by fighting great opposition. What do you think of that statement, Curtis Anderson, about the fighters' desire to be great and their willingness to fight competition?
Man, this is a different era. Not only the fighters, but character as men. They put too much emphasis on the undefeated record. When Charlo lost his he started crying in the ring, him and his brother. Just come back and fight another day. I know fighters that had multiple losses, like Glenwood Johnson, Fast Freddie Pendleton. Freddie Pendleton had like 20 losses and was a hell of a fighter and will be champion today. The Drunken Master, Emmanuel Augustus, Gerald Hayes, personal friend of mine who fought as a professional. These guys had like 15, 20 losses for non-KQ and Blood, and these guys fought. They say, well, I'll get them next time. And that's the type of fighter that I like. If you lose, hey, you lose. But these guys are built differently. They built like divas. They want as much money as possible. They only fighting once a year. It's just a different ball game. It's a lot deeper than the sport of boxing. I'm talking about as men. I can't relate to these guys, the way they wear their hair and pants tight and leggings and all that crap. I can't relate. And it transcends into the boxing ring. They cry about this. You see a good fight, a good boxing card. Like December 14th, the original boxing card was going to be J-Rock versus Hurd, Tony Harrison versus Charlo. The first thing I said, I was like, too good to be true. Now that card has fallen apart. Leo Santa Cruz, who's supposed to be tough, Azteca warrior. He don't want no smoke with Gary Russell Jr. And I doubt he fight Tank, but he'll fight Carl Frampton though. And this is what I'm talking about, because the sport of boxing has some good fights this year. It's been a good year, but it could be a banner year if they make those fights. Guys are running from each other. you know, and they want all these clauses in the contracts, man. These fights ain't getting made, you know. So as men, you know, tough men. You had Sugar Ray Leonard, who was a pretty boy, but he was tough. Sugar Ray Leonard, and this is the difference. He had 3 super fights in a year and a half. He fought Duran twice in 1 year, and then next year he fought Hearns. And in between the super fight with Hearns, he fought a tough, undefeated junior middleweight champion, Ayu Kaluli, who was 36-0 with 18 knockouts. So he had 4 tough fights, and he wound up knocking them out. So Leonard didn't duck no smoke, and so did Ali. Your boy for now, he didn't duck any smoke. You know, those guys ain't built like that as men. You know, those fighters, you can light a match on their face. That's how tough they were. Nothing didn't bother them. They didn't duck anybody. You know, so you know that's my gripe about today's fighters.
Man, before I pass that on, I gotta again, man, make a plea to you guys, because this is OG Boxing Talk, and so you know we're more, a more mature, older crowd of boxing fans that that have been around for decades and decades of watching the sport of boxing. Even if not everybody is like a diehard historian, that's kind of the crowd of people that we're trying to get in here, to talk boxing with. Every night, man, I'm religiously watching Scrapbook Boxing. I cannot tell you how damn good that channel is, man. He's got 800 subs now. I think he's close to 800, like 870 subs. He just did something last night where he broke down Jack Blackburn, who was the trainer for Joe Louis. He had fought. He had been in the ring with Joe Gans. He was in the ring with just incredible. He was in the gym with Sugar Ray Robinson. Before that, he did a conversation about Henry Armstrong and his fight with Seferino Garcia, the Filipino featherweight and middleweight. And in the middle of it, he talked about the history of the sanctioning bodies. I'm telling you, you guys, if you enjoy going to boxing channels and arguing with other people about boxing, man, there is no better warm-up that you can have than Scrapbook Boxing, man. I'm telling you, he really deserves the support. It's not the type of channel that people are just going to be drawn to from the YouTube algorithm, because he's not going to say, it's not going to have Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford in the title, right? It's going to be, what's I forget the name. It's the Scrapbook Boxing. What's the name of the series again?
Fisticuffs?
Fisticuffs?
Yeah.
Fisticuffs series.
You're right.
Yeah.
Fisticuffs.
Yeah. I'm telling you, you guys need to, man. That shit need to be OG. That need to be OG Boxing Talk. Required reading before you come, man. I'm telling you. Woolbag.
Hey, so now,
go ahead.
1 second. I'm trying to get Scrapbook on because I talk to him all the time. He having problems with a StreamYard. He's supposed to take his phone, to get it, looked at.
StreamYard. You don't need StreamYard to get on it. All you need is Gmail.
Yeah, we tried to get him on the show. He said he was having problems, but what we're gonna do, I'm gonna have Scrapbook call you and see, can you get him on the show? We'll take a test run because he has to get on the show. We talked about OG Boxing Talk yesterday. I talked to him, man, and I say, Scrap, we gotta have you on, man. This is a great platform, for his channel, so we gotta have him on, Scrap.
Yeah, that's gonna happen, man. Because like Blood told me about Scrapbook. How long ago did you tell me about Scrapbook, Blood?
Oh, that had to be months ago, man. I've been following Scrapbook before he had 100 subscribers. And I still follow. I listen to all his videos. I saw that video yesterday too. I've been following him since he started, man. Since he started, as soon as I discovered him, I was hooked to that channel because, like I've said before, boxing is a sport that has a bunch of hidden treasures, and he brings forth some of those hidden treasures for us, and he's continuing to share his scrapbook with us. It's very important to go back and look at the history of every sport. We go through it every week, man. Please support Scrapbook Boxing. Let's get him over 1,000 subscribers. I'm looking forward to getting him on the show and talking with him, man.
Yeah, we definitely gonna do that, man. And see, the thing is, man, like, if this is what I believe is important, man. If Scrapbook got any problem getting the equipment and stuff together to make that, then Scrapbook just can call me, man, and because like I said, man, we are fortunate on this channel through the live streams that we do during the week, the live streams we do on the weekend, the videos that we put up, and the support that you guys have, because we put ads in the videos that irritates a certain group of people, but our subscribers understand that that's how we fund things. And if Scrapbook needs the technology, to make sure everything is running right on his channel while he's doing this documentary, then we're gonna make sure he has what he needs. We'll make sure he has what he needs to get that done, man. There should be, I've noticed that he started doing some little different with his videos, with some editing and stuff like that. But we just got to make that happen, man. So anyway, I wanted to take a little time out from the chat, to do that, because I think that is it's such a blessing, man. And definitely subscribe to this cat, and because when he gets over 1,000 subscribers, then he can monetize his channel. He can put an ad or two in the middle of these things, man, and kick back, because he's got like thousands and thousands of pages of boxing history, man. It's just amazing. It's amazing. And I would love to see if we get, at some point in time, man, if he can make sure he gets all that stuff digitized. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's it, man. We just got a ton of respect for what that man's doing over there, man. And it's not something that, if you don't point people there, they're not gonna see it. You gotta point people to that page. Let people listen to him, and the real boxing historians. I'm telling you, you'll absolutely love this guy. I've never seen him get into any type of political drama and hissy fits with anybody. It's just a real mature thing, man. But there was a question back up in here. We'll get back to the boxing talk, where my man said, I think it was St. Cruz, and said, "Do you think that Al Haymon and Bob Arum will finally start working together?" I'm gonna throw that to Blood Boxing.
Do I believe that Bob Arum and Al Haymon would work together?
Finally start working together.
Say that again.
Finally start working together, I think was the phrase that he used.
Okay. Well, first of all, we have to remember that Al Haymon is not actually a promoter. Okay, so we have to, but will they work together? That's an interesting question. For the betterment of boxing, they need to work together. You also got to consider the fact that Bob Arum, this guy's like 90 years old, man. How much longer does this guy have left? I mean, at this point, like they're basically having to pick him up when he gets out the car. They're having to give him a brace to get up out the car and all kind of stuff. So I don't really think Bob Arum has long left, man. I think that within the next 4 years, okay, look, Bob Arum would be, within the next decade, he'll be 100 years old. Within the next decade, Bob Arum will be no more. Who takes over Top Rank from that point, it would be interesting to see. I think that Top Rank is going to die with Bob Arum, me personally, because they don't have very many fighters right now as it is. They have a great relationship with ESPN due to the fact that Bob Arum has been dealing with ESPN for years, ever since the show that all of us watched growing up, and everyone on this panel watched Top Rank Boxing at some point during the 1980s. All of us watched an episode or two, or 100 episodes of Top Rank Boxing. So Bob Arum, he's just in this place to where he's been around so long, he's just part of the sport. He didn't get frozen out in the manner that Don King got frozen out in. So it appears that Bob Arum will be there to the very end. And at this point, you would think that him being such an old man getting ready to kick the bucket soon, that he would give us the fights that we want, so he could be remembered as a promoter that gave the fans what they want. But Bob Arum is very selfish, man. He wants control of everything. He's already placing barriers in the way of certain fights, such as that Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight. He always has to be there in the mix and place barriers in front of fights. And to be honest with you, I can't wait for him to go to the retirement home. I don't want him to kick the bucket or nothing. I'm not wishing that on him, but it's time to go to the retirement home. He's very close to that. I saw him. He was ringside to one of these fights, and there's fighters behind him talking and stuff. The guy can't even move his neck to look around or nothing. He has to turn his whole body around. He's old, man. He's a fucking fossil, okay? So I don't think he's going to be around for very much longer, and I don't think it's much of a significance. He'll hold on to what he has until he's out of the gate, man. That's what I got to say about it.
Real quick, let me get the super chat. Woolbag, because this is a question from Woolbag. What were some of the wildest fight predictions you guys had that actually came true? KQKC, man, take that. What was the weirdest fight prediction that you had that actually came true? And then pass that to Kurt right after you get done. I got to get my son up. Did y'all hear that? I didn't hear anybody answer. Did I mess up?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I was on mute. I'm sorry. All right. I was on mute. That's all right.
Okay, okay, cool.
Okay.
Answer the question and pass that to Kurt real quick.
Okay. Yeah, the fight prediction I had was let me see who I can say. Well, it was a while back. I don't know if y'all remember, but Diego Corrales and Castillo. Now, I really thought that fight was over with. I really thought with the knockdowns on Diego Corrales, more than once, more than twice, both eyes swollen, barely can see. Out of one eye, the other one was closed completely. Castillo was still hitting with blows. Then he had mustered up the strength and knocked Castillo like a rag doll on the ropes and won. So that surprised me because I thought Castillo was really going to win because he was the harder puncher. Now Corrales can fight on the inside and on the outside. Now he's very, very one of the very few tall fighters that can fight on the inside. Now Robert Easter Jr. he tried, but he's not good at it. So therefore, Corrales he was out for the count. He was, and Joe Gooseman he was his trainer at the time, and Joe thought he was out for the count because he spit out his mouthpiece. Just get a little time. He went and put it in and said, look, you got to win this damn fight. You got to win this goddamn fight. Put him pressure on. But like I said, may he rest in peace. But he really surprised me in that fight that night. He was a scrapper. He had heart. That's heart. You don't see that today. You don't see fighters doing that no more. Remember? If it don't make sense, it don't make dollars. Nobody want to hear that shit no more. We want to see the best fighting the best. That's all we want. That's all we care about. That's the ultimate goal. When are we going to see that? When are we going to see that? Yeah, the money going to come, but sometimes you got to earn that shit. You got to fight. Sure, Gervonta Davis, he moved up to lightweight. Okay, good. Now, he going to stand there like a statue, like he did at super featherweight? Or he going to actually get in there and fight somebody? See, you're not going to find fights like it used to be in the yesteryears, as you might say. But Diego Corrales and Castillo, that was one of the fights that I just knew Castillo had in the bag. Corrales got the muster of strength and knocked him out at the last minute. That's all I got.
You predicted that?
Yeah, I predicted that Castillo was going to beat Corrales.
But Castillo lost to Corrales.
Yeah, I know.
But he asked what the question was that you actually got right.
All right. I thought... Man. thought it was what I predicted that was wrong.
That's all right. That's all right. Don't worry, man. We give you a pass on that.
Oh man, all that for the
All that, Doug. That's all right. That's all right. Blood, go. Curtis, man, for you, what was yours?
I got a couple, but I'm real quick. I'm gonna go over them. When Floyd Mayweather signed to fight Zab Judah, there was a lot of history between the two fighters. So I told people that Zab was going to get out to a quick start. He's going to be winning by the 5th round. Then Floyd was going to slowly take over the fight and he's going to be on the verge of a knockout. And then Zab was going to do something to cause a brawl in the ring. And I said, and me and my friends, we was watching the fight. And when the first round, when the bell rung for the first round, I said, remember, I told y'all somewhere late in the fight, there's going to be a melee. And my friends, they was like, we don't know about that. I said, okay, watch. And Roger Mayweather predicted it as well. I didn't call around, but I knew. I said, when Floyd started taking over the fight, hitting Zab Judah with hands, I said, here comes the brawl. And he hit, if you could remember, he hit Floyd low, and then he hit him in the back of the head. And that was the brawl. And I said, I told you, I called it. And I called the Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler upset because I was working on the shipping docks and people was actually laughing at me, Blood, Phenom, KQ. They said, no way, no how Leonard beats Hagler. They're going to have to scrape Leonard off the canvas. And they said, we know you know boxing, but you wrong. And we all know what happens. Some people say Hagler beat Leonard. I thought Leonard won because I thought if Leonard was standing at the end of 12 rounds, they was going to give Leonard a fight because of his charismatic personality and his aura. So those are a couple of fights that was wild that I got right.
Blood?
Man, my biggest memory of a fight that I got right, man, has to do, it was around the turn of the century, around 2001. I used to struggle to find people to talk boxing with before the social media really kicked off. By 2001, I was already on fightnews.com and places like that. But there was this one kid in my neighborhood. I would go play basketball at the courts and shit. There was this one kid, this Puerto Rican kid, which where I'm from in Gainesville, we didn't really have no Hispanics, no Puerto Ricans, no Mexicans in 2001 hardly. But this one Puerto Rican kid could talk boxing with me. I'd actually go and I'd talk to him about history. He knew who everybody was from all the eras. He's one of the only people that I met in real life before the social media era who I could talk to about fights from the 1970s. A lot, but he was Puerto Rican. And if you guys remember in 2001, the Puerto Ricans thought that Felix Trinidad was unstoppable. They thought that he could beat everybody. He moved up into the middleweight division. They thought that this guy was gonna. They didn't even know Bernard Hopkins, but he knew Bernard Hopkins. He had an idea of who he was. So me and him had an argument at the court, and we bet some money. Okay, we bet $100 or something like that. We didn't have much money back then, but we bet $100. Okay, so I predicted it right. I said that Bernard Hopkins was gonna stop Trinidad, break him down, and stop him. He's Trinidad, he's the best. They saw what he did to Fernando Vargas and talking all this shit. So after I won the bet, I've talked about this on my channel before, maybe at least 10 years ago. This motherfucker disappeared. He used to come to the court every day to play basketball pickup with us. All of a sudden, now that he owed me $100, I can't find it. I'm still looking for him to this day. I'm still looking for him. I don't know what the hell happened to him. He disappeared on me. There's one more fight too that was wild. It was a wild fucking fight since that came up that I predicted right too. When I first got back from England, the year was 1990. I know for a fact this happened in the summer of 1990 because I had just got back from England. I used to be a real big fan of Tuesday night fights, and I know that Kurt's going to remember this fight. So in the summer of 1990, there was a group of Olympians that was coming out. You had like Ray Mercer, the triple threat. What's the other guy's name? Cole, Murray, all these guys from the '88 Olympics. Okay, Roy Jones came from that Olympics. Riddick Bowe. There was one guy. There was a guy named Andrew Maynard, and there was a guy named Hambrick. I think it was Andrew Hambrick or something.
Anthony
Hambrick was his name. Okay, so I'm watching Tuesday Night Fights, and this guy Anthony Hambrick was overrated. I never did like him. Anyways, I never liked Anthony Hambrick. He was this cocky fighter. He came out there dancing and all that shit. So me and my boy got in an argument. I said, man, this guy Booker T. Word, they thought he was a bum fighter. I said, this guy's gonna beat him, man. This guy's gonna beat him. So we bet some money right on the spot, $20. Okay, we bet $20, and I can remember the times when I collected some money more than anything else. But I said, he's gonna beat this guy. This guy's too cocky. He went out there in the beginning and put on this big show and got knocked the fuck out. He was an undefeated Olympian. I predicted that fight right too. You remember that fight, Kurt, when Booker T. Word knocked out Anthony Hambrick?
Mhm.
I remember that like it was yesterday because Hambrick thought he was Sugar Ray Robinson, way overrated, like you said, Blood, and Booker T put the hammer up to him. I remember that.
Yes, sir. So that's mine right there.
All right, I got 4, and Black Fight Fan gonna love the 4th.
And for now, I still want to go over my question again. All right, I want my turn back.
Hell no! What do you mean?
What? I'm not, cause I misunderstood the question. I want my turn back.
Hey, first of all, dog, ain't no do-overs, dog. Because if I had to give you a do-over, I gotta give Blood a do-over for taking that ass whooping in the beginning of the stream.
All right, okay,
He took his ass whooping like a man, and then came back and lied.
okay,
He waited a while.
okay. All right, I understand.
No. But I'll give it back to you. My 4, I have 4 actually, and I'm gonna wait the 4th one for the last one, dog. First was Lacey versus Calzaghe. I was like, how the fuck people think Lacey gonna win this fight? I was like, I didn't understand it for nothing. I'm like, this dude is gonna get jabbed, boxed, and beat. But people, they were building up Jeff Lacey, and I'm looking at him the whole time like, come on, man. This dude here, man. This dude is not, he's just gonna walk forward, he's gonna get outboxed and beat up. And that's what happened. Barrera versus Nassim, Prince Nassim. One of my favorite fighters to watch because I was like, Prince Nassim, they were selling that motherfucker like how they're trying to sell him. The original AJ, trying to sell him. And I was like, man, this kid almost lost to Kevin Kelly. Marco Antonio Barrera is going to beat this dude. So Marco Antonio Barrera beat him. Corey Sanders versus Klitschko because I was like, this dude ain't got no fucking jaw, ain't got no chin. And if he gets caught, that wasn't a firm prediction. But I was like, Corey Sanders catches Vladimir Klitschko, he's going to knock him out. And my favorite one, Orlando Salido. Because his ass wasn't ready. They trying to blow this motherfucker up, and they picked a Mexican. They picked a grimy-ass Mexican, and that grimy-ass Mexican whooped that boy's ass. Hit him on the hips, hit him behind the head, grabbed him, mugged him, and beat him. And of course, my favorite of them all was Vasily Lomachenko versus Orlando Salido because that's an L. Y'all got to sit on it and still sitting on that L. Still sitting on that L. Go ahead, Black. Go ahead, KQKC. Make them an excuse. Go ahead. Retract.
Okay, well, first, now I understand that, what I had right. Well, what I had right was
Hold on. Black Fight Fan TV said, get the fuck out of here. I'm going. Hey, dog, I said it was going to happen, dude. Vasily Lomachenko jumped up in there, the wrong dude. Sit on that L. Y'all going to sit on that L forever because that L ain't never hopping up off that boy's resume. You don't like it, but I said it. Go ahead, man. You know,
No, I was just saying that Leo Santa Cruz, I had it right. Okay, he got beat by Carl Frampton the first time. All right, now of course he used his father's cancer, which could be true, whatever. And his father was in the ring the second time, but I think the second time when he won, 'cause I knew he was going to win because he had learned how to fight better on the back foot, and it was good. It was good. I mean, he did a great showing. Matter of fact, Carl Frampton say, "Oh, that was very clever," because we know Leo Santa Cruz is a come forward fighter, but when you fight on the back foot, and he did pretty good too. He kept moving back, jabbing, moving back, jabbing, move 1, 2, 1, 2, jab 1, 2. I said, "Okay, Leo, I know his game plan now." At the beginning of the fight, I know what he's going to do, and he was very clever. Carl Frampton couldn't touch him, and that's one of them. Then the other one was Danny Garcia and Lamont Peterson. Now, this is tricky because Danny Garcia won, but in reality, Lamont Peterson won that fight. And I said Lamont Peterson was going to win. And Fanon, let me finish. All right, let me finish. Lamont Peterson painted that boy head to toe. Lamont Peterson was more athletic, had better footwork, and even Danny Garcia said, well, not out loud, but he said that, hey, yeah, you won. And look at
lost.
Huh?
He lost.
I know he lost.
I can't give you a second go to predict another fight you got wrong.
No.
You got
that was right.
Corrals wrong, and you got this one wrong. Danny Garcia.
That's not wrong. Because he should have won that fight.
Oh, he lost.
I know he lost, technically, but I think he should have won. Cause I predicted Lamont Peterson winning. Don't you think he won that fight? Come on.
Hell no, I think he lost it. Go check BoxRec. But I'm changing my mind then. I think my biggest upset was Muhammad Ali versus Larry Holmes then, because I think Ali should have won. They cheated him in the corner and they made him stay down. They offered him money in the corner. If I can just make shit up, I'll make that shit up.
I saw the fight. I'm not making this up.
Who won the fight?
Okay, technically Garcia won. And we know why he won.
Because he won.
Okay. All right. Scratch that one. Yeah, damn it. Just get Leo Santa Cruz and Carl Frampton. All right.
Look, Black Fight Fan TV. Look, Black Fight Fan TV out here saying, leave that man alone. See, that's the Black Fight Fan want to do the same thing. He want to make Orlando Salido's. He wants Orlando Salido's loss to go away. I ain't letting you Negroes do this.
Okay.
On the L's, if it's an L, it's an L is an L. I don't get to take Pernell Whitaker versus Oscar De La Hoya away. I've been sitting on that L. How long has it been, man? How long has it been since the great Pernell Whitaker got robbed? Many a year.
I forgot the year. Damn.
Many a year,
okay,
dog. Sit on that L. If I got to sit on the Pernell Whitaker L, Black Fight Fan got TV, got to sit on that Lomachenko L. You got to sit on that Lamont Peterson L. We don't allow that. I can't allow that, man. I can't allow that. It ain't right. People be trying to steal Ali's victories from Norton. But go ahead, Black. Go ahead. Right. Go ahead and finish your thing. Because, go ahead, KQKC.
Well, I'm finished now. That's all I have. Just that one. All right. Just want to correct that. That's that one. I wanted to do two, but that didn't work out. So
no, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No. I just was
third shot at it because I've been mean.
No, you ain't been mean. No, you ain't been mean.
Yes, he's been mean. He's been being an asshole to you.
Blood, you got any fights you want to put out there? Blood, you got some fights you want to put out there where your dude lost, but you think he should have won? Blood, you got one
that Danny Garcia lost that damn fight to Peterson. Okay, let's say what they want. But I know on paper, but I'm gonna take his back on that. He got his ass that night.
So
I'm catching all kind of wins from people then. You know what I mean? I think I should have got a 4.0 in my 7th grade class, but the teacher got over on me. And I know on paper I got an F, but in my heart, I got an A.
Well, you know you got an A anyway. You was being good at two shoes sitting at the front of the class, man.
Hell no, I got an F because I was chasing some gals. Get up out of here, dog. Y'all ain't get the change. Ain't nobody get none of this revisionist history shit. See, y'all try to do that shit that these people do to tear down all the great fighters. By y'all want to be like, but it don't really count, like fat ass Dan Rayfield. You know, if anybody says Lomachenko lost to Orlando Salido, they're either lying or they didn't watch the fight. Boo, fucking hoo-hoo. Nah, dog, it ain't. It's on BoxRec. It's in Fight Backs. Sit on that L and run it back. Okay, now I know sometimes it's hard, dog. Sometimes it's hard to have these cats sit on their L's. Okay, Tyson Fury fans, sit on that D. And I mean that. Literally, you can sit on a D. Because that's what you got to sit on. You got to sit on that D.
Okay.
But I'll open that up to the chat. I'll start with Curtis. Curtis, do you believe that people need to get moral victories in boxing?
Personally, I don't believe in moral victories. You either win or lose. That's it. Or, a draw. A draw can be very subjective. But, a guy that gets bludgeoned and whatever, and he goes 12 rounds and people call it moral victories, I'm just competitive. I don't believe in moral victories. You lose or you win. Now, Lomachenko fans, they try to sweep the Salido L under the rug. I'm going a little bit off beaten track, what you were saying, but hey, one of my favorite fighters, Whitaker, we had to live with the Chavez and Ramirez and the De La Hoyas. I've never seen a superstar fighter get ripped off so many times. But, get back on track. No more victories. You either win or you lose. That's it.
Let me put a question to you, man, because if you guys watch, I learned something in the last show by Scrapbook that I didn't know. And I think this would be a great intervention that they could put into solving this nonsense, some of this nonsense. A prearranged draw. Are you familiar with the prearranged draw, Curtis Anderson or Blood?
No. No.
In the turn, this is in Scrapbook Boxing, man. The last thing he put out there, he was talking about fights with Jack Blackburn and how back in the early 1900s there were a lot of prearranged draws, which meant that if the fight did not result in a knockout, the fight goes to a draw immediately. If it goes 12 rounds, the fight's a draw. So it's either, if it's a champion, either you knock that dude out, so basically it takes the judges out of the equation. That would be something I think would be like, God, that would change a lot of people's fighting styles, man. Have you ever? What are your thoughts on that, Curtis Blood?
Well, you know what? It's funny that you bring that up now, because when I think back on it and I was doing my research on Barbados Joe Walcott, I know that back at the turn of the century, they used to have all these kind of things that was prearranged. They had set, what they would do is they would set certain rules. If this fight goes the distance, then you don't win the fight, to guys like Walcott and Jackson and guys like that. So I have heard of that before, which to me is ridiculous, in my opinion. I don't think that fits in today's boxing.
Curtis, look at these super chats. Yeah, that probably does sound like a shank, but I'll tell you what, man, that shit would make fights a lot more exciting. Because I think these guys I think people like the draws in rounds. I agree with you, Blood, by the way. But the fact that people want these 10-9 musts, I think that screws up a lot of scorecards, man, because people are scoring rounds for people where no guy does anything. So, like, you have the first 5 rounds of the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight that people are like, oh, Tyson Fury won the first 5 rounds, but nobody did anything in the round. So you wind up having situations where guys are scoring rounds. I think 78 called it like the puncher's dilemma, or something similar to the puncher's dilemma, where if Deontay Wilder or somebody like that doesn't knock somebody out, they're scoring it for the other fighter.
like come forward. They say the most aggressive fighter won the round, you know. So same thing.
Yeah, it's just funny stuff. Let me read this super chats. Brothers UK said, peace, brother Fanon. Peace to the channel, man. Peace to you as well. Underground Asylum says, salute to the chat. Salute to Fanon and the OG panel. Omega Rest and salute the fam. Mighty LDBC. Yes, sir. Sugar Fantastic. Salute OGs. Mahari Nations podcast. Hold this L. I cannot say this. God dang. I don't like to disrespect Black Fight Fan TV and people in the super chats, because people that might not be knowing that I'm just playing with Black Fight Fan TV might misinterpret that. Black Fight Fan TV, BFFTB TV has the best live stream on YouTube in boxing. It's called Trill Boxing Talk. They do it every morning, Monday through Friday, right around 10 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. Central Standard Time, 11 to 11:15 a.m. start time, Eastern Standard Time. And we just going back and forth joking about Vasily Lomachenko. And then they had a bunch of conversations about Popeye's chicken and drinking too much red wine with Salido. I just don't want anybody to think that I'm really insulting Black Fight Fan TV, other than when I tell him to, that Lomachenko got to sit on that L. So, all right, man, let's wrap it up, man. KQKC, man, you got some final words before we depart?
Well, no, not really, but everybody know where to find me. KQKC, the singing OG, will be back in action tomorrow, 12:30. And that's Central Time, right after Fanon International Boxing. That's right. And also, thank you, Kurt Anderson. Thank you, Blood Boxing. And thank you, our host, Fanon International Boxing. It always is a pleasure to be among you three. All right. I get a lot of knowledge and understanding from both of you all three of you all. So with that, I had a good time today. I did, So, and I was very attentive, except for one question. So, and with that, that's it. That's all.
No. That would be two questions.
Okay, two questions.
2 questions.
And thanks to everybody, the super chat.
15 minutes late to the chat. But you the best channel. You one of the best shows on YouTube, man. And y'all just know I'm just playing with
of course,
with KKC, and I'm trying to get him mad enough where he snaps on me, because it's easy pickings right now. Blood can't handle me. Blood can't handle the smoke. So I'm hoping KK.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
See, I look up to Fanon, and I look up to him a lot. I don't want to disrespect him, because everybody that's subscribed to my channel know that I really don't give a fuck, and I probably. Go do that South Side shit, because y'all know I will cut a motherfucker, right? Y'all know that, right? So I try not to go there.
Yeah, I know. Man, you went all the way to cut me.
But no, I respect him a lot. So
it's all good, man. We just having fun.
Yes, sir.
Curtis Anderson, man. Oh, by the way, now if Curtis Anderson accepted the invitation from Blood Boxing to be a permanent member of the chat of this live stream, I would think that would be a wonderful thing, man. This cat is like one of the best. I was also thinking about doing a show called don't worry, man, I'm being petty here. Curtis Anderson Takes on the Planet. And I think I was going to do that like maybe a couple days a week. I got a new original idea. Curtis Anderson Takes on the Planet.
Hey, I want to say, man, I accept your invitation. Of course, man. It's a pleasure, talking boxing with Fanon, who's highly intelligent. I mean, he's a lawyer, that says everything. KQKC, man, we gotten real close, man. I love your energy, your fervor, man. You're a hard worker. You're always on the grind. Blood Boxing, the Godfather, my brother, man. If you people didn't see the collab we did, when we did that last year, Blood, we did the 81 heavyweight series on Blood's channel. You have to go look at it.
We did 2 collabs last year. We did that, and we also did the Mike Tyson, the Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis. You remember that one? That's still on the documentary page where me and Kurt Anderson Sugar talked about the relationship between Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, man. I will be a permanent member, a regular. You know, is a treat, man. You know, it's great. You know, listen, you guys give me compliments and accolades. I don't know everything. I'm still learning. You can never know everything about the sport of boxing. I can't debate with Blood and BFTB. They the kings. I love Blood debating, you know, killing people, man. I love his energy as well as his fervor, you know. We have a great mix. We have chemistry. You know, the chat, I talk to certain members of chat. You can find me at curtis488@gmail.com if you want to ask me questions. I love talking to the chat. You know, I've been on certain shows in the past. It didn't quite work out, but, you know, I'm always available, you know, and I just want to say great show today and look forward to next week, man. Peace to chat. My brother Fanon, KQKC, and Blood. I might be doing something with Blue Blood behind the scenes. I'll let you guys know what's going on, man, but I ain't going nowhere, man. I love talking knowledge, man. I'm still learning, brothers.
Yes, sir. Blood boxing.
Hey, man, first of all, I wanted to say before I address the OGs on the panel, we're not going to let this Lomachenko guy go, okay? I'm not done. I got one more thing to say, all right? When I was growing up, okay, I looked at the lightweight division, and that's where it all started for me. I didn't look at anything smaller than lightweight, except for Michael Carbajal, and I also like this fighter, a white fighter named Scotty the Bulldog Olsen, who used to be featured on the Tuesday Night Fights. Kurt Anderson would know who I'm talking about. But I wanted to say that when I was growing up watching the lightweight division, there were several very good lightweights, okay? You had Edwin Rosario, okay? You had Hector Camacho. You had Julio Cesar Chavez. You had Jose Luis Ramirez, all right? You had Greg Haugen. You had Pernell Whitaker. And the lightweight that I compare Lomachenko to is Vinny Pazienza. That's who Lomachenko is. He's Vinny Pazienza because when Vinny Pazienza was getting ready to fight Greg Haugen, he had a loss too. You know, and they couldn't give somebody a shot at a title in their first fight. He couldn't have come out the box and be significant in that lightweight atmosphere, okay? You put him in there when Rosario was there, Julio Cesar Chavez was there, Pernell Whitaker was there, Hector Camacho was there, all within a 2-year radius. Jose Luis Ramirez, Greg Hogan, and I believe all of those guys would have beat Lomachenko. Lomachenko has the same movement that Vinny Pazienza had. He's Vinny Paz. That's who he is. All right? That's exactly who he is. Vinny Paz would have taken Salido to school. He would have beat Salido. All right? So Lomachenko just lucky that he came up in the right era. All right? Because even the white boys back then knew how to fight. All right? We come from a different era. My era is the 1980s where white boys knew how to fight, such as Greg Hogan and Vinny Pazienza, and both of them would have beat that Eastern European chump down, all right? So Lomachenko ain't shit. You can't be some king fighter when you only got 14 wins and 1 loss, all right? So he's overhyped. He's Euro trash, all right? He's on the level of Vinny Pazienza, and that's what I'm going to say. When you think Lomachenko, Black Fight Fan TV, when you think White Jesus, think Vinny Pazienza, my brother. And that's what I got to say. And shout out to the OGs. That's right. All of us old men. I know that, you know, I see KQKC there moving around pretty good, but really the truth is that his ankle hurts right now. Okay? He had to use some sports cream this morning, and Fanon is hurt. Both his knees are fucked up. My back is fucked up. We old ass men talking boxing. So thanks a lot. Support the channel. Smash the like button. And it continues, man. OG Boxing Talk. We'll be back. We got Kurt Anderson now. All right. So we're gonna bring the heat. We're gonna get scrapbook boxing over here. We're gonna continue to bring the heat. Drew Titan, bring your little young ass back on the show. Don't have me on here amongst these old guys, man. All right. That's all. And plus, in 2 weeks I will be 46 years old. That's right. So you, Fanon, you better start respecting me. I will be 46 in 2 weeks, all right? I'm getting closer to 50. I'm within 5 years now. You guys need to fucking respect me. Have a little more respect for me. All three of you. Her, Fanon, and KQKC. That's what I got to say. I'm out.
Hey, I want to say this before we go, Fanon, KQ, and Blood. People forget about the dominant Shane Mosley as a lightweight. We think of him as a welterweight. Go look at Shane knockouts as a lightweight. It's a guy that I came up with. His older brother, his younger brother for Shane, his name is Adrian Stone. He said Shane hits like a Mack truck, and he was fast. He would have beaten the brakes off Lomachenko. Shane Mosley as a lightweight was one of the very best fighters you will ever see because he punched through you. He didn't punch at you. And plus he had fast hands, and people kind of forget about Shane Mosley as a lightweight.
Hey man, that ain't no joke, man. That I was like, and he jumped 140. He jumped 140. But look, man, let's get out of here. But Blood, first of all, you always gonna take L's over here. I don't care how old you get, dog. Skilled. All right, let me tell you, dog. I'll tell you like I tell that little weasel ass channel that keeps making videos about me. I know you're listening, boy. I know you're listening, boy. I still see you making videos about me. Dog, I can be wrong and you'll still lose to me in an argument. It's skill, dog. It's skill. You know what I mean? Just set them traps for you, dog. You know who's good at it? Best Fight the Best is pretty good at it, dog. But seriously, man, I got decades on y'all. And so I got one of the sneakiest daddies on the planet. That dude would just argue. We argued for the fuck of arguing like all day, all night. I would just listen and learn. Watch people setting traps. My dad would be like, look, I'll do X. The day you can beat me in an argument is the day you'll become a man. That's what he used to do. So we used to be arguing with my brother, arguing with my uncles, and I would just be sitting there taking notes. Then I would look up fallacies and be like, okay, that's ad hominem. That's a straw man. How do I beat that? How do I beat that? How do I get this motherfucker to say exactly what I want him to say and admit that I'm right? So I got all kind of moves, dog. You know how they be like, you got the Drunken Master? You remember the Drunken Master? Augustus, dog, that's me. Okay. Yep. You ain't no. If you think you win, stop arguing. Only way to beat me is say, you know what? I ain't even gonna give you that. I ain't even gonna give you that win tactic. But you can't hang with me, dog. Blood, you're gonna be taking them L's. You need to start picking on KQKC. Don't come around these parts.
Hey, you heard him, KQ? Hey, he been picking on. You've been picking on KQKC.
Yeah.
That's because, let me tell you why I pick on KQKC. But we KQC.
We got something for you for now.
Let me tell you why. Because KQKC ain't really being KQKC. KQKC is faking it. KQKC is being this nice, quiet. I respect you. And when he gets off, he be like, fuck that nigga. I know what you do. I know what you do. I know what you do. Listen to the show. I don't know. He just be sitting there like, yeah, wait till I get to 10,000 subs. I'm gonna light your ass up. Okay. I know what he's doing, dog. I know KQ. I'm trying to get KQKC out of shell. Because I know there's something he's got waiting for me over there, and I ain't waiting for him to catch me at the wrong time, dog. You know what I mean? It's like a snake in your yard, dog. You mow the lawn, and you make sure you keep your eye on that one. He's too quiet. He's too I don't believe it. He sees dragging on that. Ain't no nigga smoke cigarettes like this. Ain't nobody smoking cigarettes like this. When they talk, that respectful. You see, he resorted to saying he was going to cut me, right? Did you miss? I didn't miss that. He said, I ain't gonna keep talking. I'm just gonna cut you. See how you doing? It's all fun though. But look, man, much love to everybody in the super chat, everybody in the chat, everybody in the Cash App, man. Look, the next, are you going on later today, KQKC? You're not? You on mute, K?
Oh,
KQ.
no, I will not. Not too.
All right, so I don't know who's going live, man, but definitely check out Trill Bison Talk tomorrow morning, 10, right around 10. Be ready for it to come on at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think Blue Blood might go on before that. Then I'm gonna go on. KQKC's gonna go on. You know the whole lineup we do. Kane the bad guy said, for now, you better keep your guard up. KQ, I know he's lurking. I know he's lurking, dog. I know he's lurking. That's why I be trying to keep him at bay. I just throw that jab out there. Nah. Stay back, KQ. That's it. All right, y'all. All right, we out, man. Peace.
One love, man.